Oh, ain't you so sweet funding my little old rocket program?
Miss Lepop cheered. X1000.
Good morning, everybody. It's so good to see you, honey. What you doing? Are you sitting there with your little cup of coffee, working your way up to taking the first poop of the day? Yeah, buddy. I quit drinking coffee. Last time I drank coffee, I puked my guts up. I did. It was fucking awful. So I just kind of killed coffee for me for the time being. Hope you're all doing well this morning. It's Monday. Hey, during my intro, I'm going to get this part out of the way so I don't shit my show up with it. And I'm going to just make it quick. I'm not going to beat a dead horse about it. I'm going to have to ask the free spirits on Twitter to dial back the anti-white rhetoric. The optics of it are looking real bad. That's it. Okay, thank you. So, I'm going to replace the screen. Get ready to replace the screen here. There we go. Perfect. Got it the first try. You don't know what it's like putting a screen in a small bowl. Because I can't care for pipes and glass pieces that well. So my tobacco shits this one all up, and it's a $10 pipe. I won't even clean it. I'll just replace it. You feel me? Once I can't hit it, I'll just replace it. You clean it next. Because I don't have to. Because I have the resources to buy another one. You clean it next. Gosh, Mickey, it's a shame we can't groom kids anymore. Gosh. Oh, no, you're just missing out on anti-white rhetoric. The usual. You know, I'm a piece of shit and my life sucks, so it's white people that I don't know, it's their fault. And then I'm going to be borderline racist on Twitter and then block people under the guise of woke. So I hope they know that shit's dying out. And the only people who are going to be buying these type of narratives going forward are going to be a small fringe minority, and that small fringe minority are people who are live in a delusion and want to oppress the rest of the world because they don't agree, and we don't cater to a small fringe minority of mentally ill people. Now, do we? No, we get them help. Okay. I'd like to sub for a couple more months. No, you don't have to be gifted. You could sub on your own. I think there's a button down there somewhere. Or on my screen. There should be something on the screen. Or if you have Amazon Prime, you can use your Amazon Prime as well. Just the usual BS, Janet. Yes, the typical, you know. Blame Whitey. Oh, my God. Anyway, moving on. Just want to get that out of the way. What's up, Negative Nation? Welcome to Next Live. It is 10:03 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the beautiful state of Indiana. Welcome to the broadcast. Can we get some love from Missile Pop? Thank you so very much for the I was in the restroom when I heard they go, whatever it is it says, right? You know, a little rocket program. Yeah, it made me laugh. I peed all over the floor. No, it wasn't that bad. I pee all over the floor without laughing. So, welcome to the broadcast. Good to see you. We got a little bit of a fucked up show for you today. No, it's good. Every day's a fucked up show. By the way, go get your this. It says crippling depression, but it's not backwards like this. It's staynegative.xyz. This is a original design. Original design. Unlike French Fry Girl's designs that got her storefront taken down, because you cannot have some fat idiot design your merch and use copyrighted imagery. Ya big silly. What are you doing? Hey, you have one of these shirts. How many people have one of these shirts? I know we sold a few. We sold a few. I was impressed. So, I'm going to just give you the rundown for this morning, what you can expect, okay? I know MFW's over on RSNs. I don't care. What is she doing? Talking about boiled slice again? Two irrelevant people hanging on to whatever relevancy. Well, he's trying to hang on to whatever relevancy she has. She can't even pull over 100 people in a live stream. How many people does he think he's going to pull, putting her on the screen? Oh, yeah, her merch store got taken down over a year ago because she was violating copyright. She was using clip art from the internet that somebody else had designed that you had to pay to license. I looked it up personally. I did. I maybe even contacted the artist. I don't know. Because I don't like her. And I'm an artist, and I don't appreciate people stealing my shit and making money off of it. Nor would I. Look, it's an artist community, and artists do that for one another. If I see somebody fucking with your shit and making money, I'd be like, hey. So, that's on her. That ain't anybody else's fault but hers. She can blame penises or melanin all she wants. It has nothing to do with that. Or lack thereof. So today we're going to take a look at Tony Rock goes off on Will Smith and Jada at a comedy show. This will be good. We also got some more of that woke coma dream like nightmare fuel that you guys love so much. Really short clips from Memeology. We're going to take a look at Barbecue Chicken's video, Starfish, Chantel's new song, and then we're going to conclude the stream with what I believe to be one of the most privileged individuals I've ever seen on this platform, and that is Life by Jen. I saw that Yaba was going to, be fat and keep her camera off and dunk on other fatties today, so I thought I'll turn my camera on and be slim and review this very privileged individual who cannot seem to wrap their head around that they are in the shape they are in because of their privilege. You don't slip, trip, and gain 500 pounds, guys. That's just not how it works. RSN and M, does he do that to piss you off? It doesn't do anything to me, though. It don't even make my pee-pee tingle. So I don't get nothing from it. Oh, my monitor's too bright. By the way, Hussy, I took a shower today. Would you like for me to show you the underside of my sack so you can verify, since you're so worried about my genitals on every fucking stream you do, you weirdo? I'm not a sexual predator at all. Sure, buddy. Sure. What was it you said you went in the bar and did? That you used your legal blindness to your advantage and just felt around the bar? Even if that's not true, the fact that you said it, try to convey it as a point of Ha ha. It says everything we need to know about you, Kenny boy. By the way, where's the LA vlog? Where's the apartment tour? Where's the bar vlog from the other night when you got sloppy drunk and everybody threw money at you so you could go out and get sloppier? Wear a condom, Ken. Don't be unsafe out there. I know you're desperate for attention. You really want people's attention, but don't be unsafe about it. I understand. I have BPD. I've had a very unsafe past, but fortunately after many visits and blood panels, I'm fine. Never shot up though. So anyway, I don't know what my point was. I'm just shooting salad until I get this clip up here. All right, we got Tony Rock, man. He rips Jada and Will a new one. There was a censored version. Everybody censors stuff because of monetization. I don't care. I'm about freedom of speech. And yeah, let's see what he's got to say. You'll be able to hear him better here in just a second.
Raleigh, what up? Raleigh, what up? Oh, we on pot for the rest of the year. Oh, we on pot for the rest of the year.
He showed the house to David. Yeah, sure.
Right now, y'all. Let's set some ground rules. If I say anything tonight, anybody got a fucking problem with? You got one motherfucking option what you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Because if you think you're going to walk up on this stage, this ain't the motherfucking Oscars. And if you walk your ass up here, you ain't nominated for shit but these motherfucking hands.
Oh, this is
fun. Oh, we gon' pop the rest of the year, nigga. Every time you see me do a show, pop. I ain't want to start the show like that. You gonna hit my motherfucking brother? Cause your bitch gave you a side eye?
That's great.
Oh, it's a lot of Rock Brothers. Y'all ain't know it's a lot of Rock Brothers. It's 10 of us, motherfucker. You about to see all the Rock Brothers. You gonna I ain't know that nigga was a Rock Brother. That nigga a Rock Brother? That's a Rock Brother? I ain't gonna start the show like that, but I just wanna let y'all know that shit ain't gonna ride.
Oh no, Missy, did you find it?
That shit ain't gonna ride, nigga. I don't got a lot of shit to lose, nigga.
Oh,
some more gonna have me on the tour regardless. Y'all might never see me on TV again, but... Now, with that said, Raleigh, how y'all doing?
All right, anyway, I just wanted to play that because I thought it was funny. I thought it was very funny that he's just like, he checked him. Will Smith showed his privilege. I was mad about it because I don't have, what privilege do I fucking have? I've never in my life got to hit somebody with impunity and then get a fucking reward 5 minutes later and get a standing ovation. What are you talking about? Will Smith's disgraced now. You guys know that, right? They've already postponed projects, this, that, and everything in between. Of course, the normal, Hollywood rigmarole, save face and all that. But I honestly think that he really did himself in by going publicly and being like, yeah, my wife sleeps with other men, and I hit other men for making fun of that woman. Look, his man card has been revoked. One thing we have in common, he has more privilege than me, but we both have penises and testosterone. XY chromosomes, right? Is that right? Or is it XX? Oh, God, buckle up.
Telling my students that I was gay, and how it came up was one of the students was like, my mom thinks that you're gay because of your voice. And I'm like, maybe, maybe not. So they were asking me if I was, because I kind of alluded that I was. So they were asking me if I was.
So you X the doubt. You alluded to your fifth graders that you were gay because that's important. Why?
So I kind of let them wonder and ponder on it.
I mean, we don't need to ask.
And
We've been new.
I have
but-
like, like the LGBT promotional, like this is a safe community kind of stuff.
I just want to tell you, I wholeheartedly disagree with that. That is a it's not a political movement, but it is a community movement, and it does not represent the majority of anyone. And if you can't, look, if you're not going to represent the majority, then you don't need to represent the minority in the classroom. They're there to be educated. Tolerance is taught in the home more often than it is at the school, okay? Being socialized by children teaches you tolerance. Having it forced down your throat like propaganda is abuse.
The rainbow stuff all up in my room. And I told them, I'm like, if you look around the room, that should give you an answer to your question.
I'll be honest with you, if this were a teacher at my kid's school, I'd ask for him to be fired. Even if you were straight. Like, why do you, I mean, like, okay, like, what privilege do you have to tell, I mean, like, what does this matter? This has no bearing. Why does my child need to know this? You're not respecting any of the children's, every one of those kids comes from a different household, from a different income bracket, from a different religion, okay? I understand we want to indoctrinate everybody to be the fucking same, but that's not how the world works. Right? It's like Disney, Ring into the Abyss, Abigail Disney out there stomping her feet over and falsely spreading propaganda about a parental rights bill in Florida while starting streaming services in Saudi Arabia.
So I did officially tell them.
Yeah.
They, of course, went berserk. So instead of teaching social studies today, they just asked me a whole bunch of questions about being gay. So.
Wow, so instead of my kid getting an education today, he was forced into this individual's identity, political latent narcissism, right? Cool. Yeah, so you're so interesting. Your sexual identity is so interesting that you can spend the whole day talking. Cool, so the next day, I'm going to bring my heterosexual ass in, and I'm going to talk to the class by force about what it's like to be straight. What questions do they need to ask you about? I don't understand. He is more interested in his sexuality. He should be fired immediately. Immediately. And it's, you gay. No, it has nothing to do with being gay. You want my straight ass to go in there and spend the whole day talking about my sexuality with your kids? If the answer is yes, then cool. He can stay on board. If the answer is no, you're a bigot. You see how that works, right?
So I think it was pretty well.
They are feral.
Shut up! Oh my God, I don't care!
Shut the fuck up. Stay away from my kid and my grandkids. Okay, this is a good one. This is a good one. The urgency of this moment is clear. Mortality rates of birthing people are too high, and babies born to Black and Puerto Rican mothers in this city are 3 times more likely to die in their first year of life than babies born to non-Hispanic white birthing people. You guys notice how casually people are allowed to talk down to white people and treat them like shit, right? I just want to point that out. And it's allowed on all social media. The fact that it doesn't get banned shows that it's normalized. When you go too woke, NYC's top doc apologizes to Black Hispanic birthing people for calling them mothers. What the fuck? Are you serious? Sorry we called you mothers. My bad. You're birthing people too.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks.
All right, so before we get into this song, Jesus Christ, guys, you see, this isn't propaganda that I'm showing you. These are things that are actually happening. These are things that are actually said. These are ideas and ideologies that people actually promote to one another and use to oppress other people that don't agree with them or don't look like them. And the only people who align themselves with them are the people who would be oppressed for opposing them because they look different. You feel me? We call that racisms. Yes. Birthing people. Man, don't dehumanize me. Don't take away from me. Okay, so Everybody else that's born naturally has to give up their identity because other people want to live in a fucking delusion, right? No. No, you're not going to take away my identity so you're more comfortable with your mental illness. Fuck that. That's bullshit. That's oppression. That's oppression. What are you talking about? Ugh. I don't know what it is. I had to sit and think about this the other night. I was like, man, this shit really pisses me off because it can have a butterfly effect, right? And I thought about it and I was like, well, I don't deal with this in my everyday life. Real life is not like this. Okay, I want to make that abundantly clear. At least where I'm at. And I don't think it's like that in a lot of places. I think that people are brainwashed into thinking if they don't follow this doctrination, then they're going to be shunned and not be able to feed their families. You can only keep that up for so long. I can't remember what my point is, but I've been saying it for a year, and because I keep noticing it, it's coming to an end because, and we have that Penn State swimmer to thank, okay? And then we have Will Smith to thank. And then while we have Pfizer to thank, it's all unraveling. You just have to know where to look. By the way, I just want to announce that I am very happy to announce that I am still a part of the control group. I have had COVID once, and I'm alive, and I have not been sick. I got sick one other time, and I don't think it was COVID. I think it was allergies. So there's that. All right, we got Starfish, Chantel's new song, My Way. I have natural immunity. The CDC admitted it. I think we covered that yesterday. Or Fauci even admitted the best vaccine is to become infected. No. Where is your belly button?
And I'll exploit you. Bend you over. But you don't start fish like I do. That's okay, B, because I got that 30 film on the down low. Should be at the gym, but you at the old folks home. Move me in, baby. I gotta win. I need to show the world I'm fitting in. I'll be the man, but don't challenge me, because I can do what I want because I'm me. So I'm living, baby. Just as I should. Hey, is your loss? Because that's a sour fish?
It's good.
You sure she wasn't talking about she needed a fan because she's overweight and everything is going to exert her body? Well, she's 5 foot tall and like 400 pounds, so what else do you do? Be weird, I suppose. Yeah, I guarantee you're out of breath there. Dressing like Dee Dee, weirdo. All right, so before we move on to our next overprivileged fatty ding dong, we gotta discuss for a second. I know y'all want to discuss. Come on. So, a narcissist, yes, definitely a narcissist, and then that's why I don't have any empathy for people who are bedridden by choice. Why should I? You are literally a burden upon the system that that is designed to save you. But see, what you've done is you've said, oh, look at all this food, money, privilege. I'm not saying people are rich. You don't have to be rich to be morbidly obese, by the way. But from what I understand with Life by Jen, she has a complete, she has an enabler. And let me tell you something else. YouTube is very much at fault for this too, in the realm of her, Nikocado Avocado, and anybody else who has gotten thousands of dollars to sit there and eat themselves to death, right? You're telling me that I can't defend my right to choose for my own body and protect my children, but you can go live and eat yourself into a heart attack. It's narcissism. YouTube doesn't care because all they're hurting is themselves, right? Well, when I share my opinions, who the fuck am I hurting? Am I hurting anybody but myself? No. 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 People spoke out about the jab, got banned, and now they're coming out and they're like, you were right. I'm sick of being right. Yeah, YouTube is how Chantel became a monster. It's how Nikocado Avocados he's got one foot in the grave, right? Yeah. And then you got Life by Jen. Who else? There are no shortage of fatty ding-dongs on YouTube. Yeah, it's always someone else's fault. That's all I've been seeing this morning. I saw a whole, not a whole community, but a couple people from a community blaming an entire race as to why they couldn't find a suitable mate. What? Are you kidding me? Take some accountability. You suck. Nobody wants to be with you. That's just how it is. Okay? Maybe you're too needy. In one case, I'm like, I can't blame them. Nobody wants you. Yeah, anyway. People need to be careful because I don't think anybody learned from myself and others that you very well can be held accountable in the court of law for your words on the internet. Now, whether you're guilty or not is to be determined. But it goes both ways. All right, let's dive into this JID video, man. Nothing gets me going more than somebody who, like, dude, let me tell you something. When you get bedridden because you can't put the brick of cheese down, that's no different than firing up a spoon and cooking some black tar and jamming it into the corner of your eye because you've ran out of veins, all right? It's no different. So, this is going to get me going. I'm going to roast because, again, I don't understand what law or rule there is that I'm supposed to sit here and feel sorry for someone who's had every opportunity allotted to them to create it's a sickness, it's an illness. Why is she's bedridden? Why is that guy bringing her food then, right? Is it just me, or do you need a little help to get that big? Why isn't he being charged criminally? These are all questions that I have, so let's do it.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is part 2. Well, actually part B. Part B of part 2 of my story of being in rehab and my 7 months away from home.
Yeah.
So enjoy the video, and I will see you again in the next video for part 3.
I just want to say, I hope Yaba turns her camera on when she reviews Jen later. But we know she's going to have it off, cocking a gun, making the fart noise every 5 seconds, and dude.
Then her next question was, do you want to go home? So when she asked that, Gene and I kind of looked at each other like, I think that's kind of obvious. I mean, so I said to her, yeah, I want to go home. I mean, I'm laying here. I'm not receiving physical therapy. I've had no physical therapy in about a month and a half now.
Okay.
I'm just laying here taking up space.
Well, I mean, that's a true statement. I don't understand. Who paid for this? Who paid for this rehab? That's what I want to know. Can somebody tell me how the rehab was paid for? If 7 months, no less. Really? Really? You know how expensive a hospital bed is? Whose burden was it? Medicaid. Medicaid. No, stop it. You telling me the taxpayers had to foot the bill for her to spend 7 months in a rehab because she ate herself to her bed? Really? Can somebody give me a rough estimate on how much that would cost? 7 months. 7 months, 210 days roughly. How much is it per day? What do you think? $250,000? Think it's about $250,000 of taxpayers' money, so she could just go home and do what exactly? Oh, is she a Canadian? Okay, we're having a different conversation then. So if she's a Canadian, but see, here's the deal. Universal health care, the money comes from somewhere. It comes from somewhere. It's not free money. It's not free health care. The money comes from somebody. So somebody foot the bill. She is not Canadian, so she's American, so I can make estimates and bitch about my taxes being wasted, right? Okay, I want to make sure. I don't want to bitch about Canadian issues because, one, Trudeau's a dictator. So is Zelensky. Just saying, when you seize control of all media and make it state-controlled and ban all oppositional political parties, you're a dictator. I'm just saying. She said, oh, West Virginia, get the hell out of here. You ever want West Virginia? All right, let's go.
So there's absolutely no reason for me to be laying here. I can go home and lay in bed and do the same thing. She said that she would start on the paperwork.
How do you go to the
went
dentist?
through everything that I would need She made a list of like a walker, a bed.
You know what's sad? Is I've known people who have needed this stuff because their bodies just gave up on them. Yeah. Oh, so 2,600 a day times 210 days, right? 7 months is what she said. She wasn't just in there for a month. She was in there for 7 months, right? Okay.
All these things that I would need. And she said she needed a week's notice that they would get the ambulance set up because I was coming home by ambulance because...
What I'm saying, there's people who need this stuff because their bodies just gave out on them and they can't acquire it because of money.
I hadn't been out of bed again since the end of November.
When was the last?
And obviously
What?
I wasn't walking and I
What?
hadn't even set up. in
Half
bed.
a mil. Cool.
So I was
Cool.
naturally going to need an ambulance to bring me home. She said she'd take care of all of that, and the discharge would be on the 19th. So I'm assuming it was the 12th that we had this conversation because...
Well, riddle me this. How do you spend 7 months in a hospital eating the appropriate caloric intake and not lose any weight? And I don't understand. A lot of her story is just not making sense. What if she was just completely non-compliant in the rehab and they said, fuck it, we'll just milk the taxpayers? How they let her stay there for 7 months is beyond me. But I feel like she's not taking accountability for anything. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, poor you were mistreated in the hospital. It's for 7 months.
A week would be the 19th, I'm assuming. My dates are a little foggy.
He was
now
feeding
because
her in the
there were so many
hospital?
of them. I can't remember all of them. So, we made all these arrangements, and then she said she would get back with me.
Claire, I've been evicted, so, I mean, I think I got evicted for damage I did to a house once. I'll just tell the story. The cops got called, and everybody ran into a bedroom and pretended they were asleep, except for a girl who was self-harming in the bathroom, had no idea she was doing it. I had a pipe on the table next to an airsoft, not airsoft gun, but a CO2 pellet gun that I had, because it looked real, and it scared the shit out of you. And the cops just walked in my house, didn't announce themselves, walked in. And, yeah, anyway, after they left, they went in the other room, shined a light around. They're like, who's that? And I was like, that's my buddy Toof. Toof who? I'm like, I'm not telling him his name. His name's Toof. Put it in your fucking report, dickhead. Then I informed them that they were in my house illegally and there's nothing they could do anyway, because they just walked the fuck in without just cause. It was a noise complaint. They didn't have the right to just walk into the house. It wasn't a domestic complaint. It was none of that. And then I went to the table, and they were like, hey! I almost got shot because the gun was there. Imagine if they illegally entered my home and shot me with all these people here. Oh, my God. Anyway, they come over to the table and take the one-hitter up and the gun. They're, oh, it smells like weed, and they're sticking it in my face. They're sticking it in my fucking face. It smells like weed. And I'm like, sir, you're going to have to leave because you don't have a warrant. I'm drunk, but I'm not regarded. Get the fuck out. So they leave, and in a fit of rage, I went to hit the wall with both my arms, just out of frustration. The whole wall went, it just caved in. So now there's a big hole in my wall. The fucking door's got a hole in it for me and my girlfriend fighting. It is a mess.
I forget which of the things she said.
20 years
there
ago.
was something that she had to get back with me and let me know.
I didn't get in any trouble
and
because they
then
knew they
we
were
would go
there
from
illegally.
And I said that was fine. I forget what exactly it was. I didn't hear from her again. That
Let me make something clear. No children lived with me, okay? It was me and my loser girlfriend. That's it.
and it was the Tuesday, so it was like 4 days again before discharge.
I had a dual life. I was dad, and when I wasn't with my kids, I was live fast, live fast, die. That's how I lived. But when I was with my kids, I was dad. I was a normal guy. Didn't do shit. Hung out. Went to, carnivals. Got ice cream. Dealt with autistic fits. Shit like that. Yeah. And then as soon as they went home, I was a bachelor.
And again, I hadn't heard anything. So I called, and I asked to speak to the social worker that I was working with.
Yeah.
And the other social worker let me know that she was not there, and they didn't know when or if she would return.
Well, you know, one thing Clifford doesn't talk about is anything in his personal life.
I don't know why she wasn't there. I don't
So
know.
it's really hard to. The only thing Cliff talks about in his personal life are things he can weaponize to deflect and play the victim. That's all he does. Just like Tragic.
If she has returned afterwards, but that social worker that I set everything up with was now gone. So she asked if she could help me with something, and I told her the issue. And she said she had no notes of anything. She didn't. There was nothing ordered. There was nothing. She had no knowledge of what had went on from the other social worker.
Oh, okay.
So the 19th was obviously canceled because there was nothing in progress.
Tom P. Who's Tom P?
So she said she would work on it.
Hi,
We
Valkyrie.
would make it for the next 7 days. She needed a week. We discussed what I
Exactly,
needed.
double
We
O.
discussed
Well, and remember when Gigi told on himself for receiving a folder that was just labeled CP? I'm not saying there was CP in it, but he said it was labeled CP, and the motherfucker accepted and clicked on it, and then nobody cared.
everything that I discussed.
But yeah, he's out here on another account ring about anything and everything everybody does, right? Okay.
Discussed with the other social worker. She said she would get on it. Fine.
Cool story, Gigi.
So that leads us up to, let's see, that was the 19th. That was supposed to be released.
That's why he
7 days
should never
after
talk.
That would have been, I don't know, guys. Help me with the math. 20-something. I think it was the 29th was,
Imagine if Frank had done that. Clara, I'm sorry to put you on Front Street. Imagine if Frank had admitted to doing that. Do you think Tragic would be as silent as he is right now? Since he's the one out there accusing everybody of being a chomamomo, a chomamosa. Since he's doing that, right? You think he'd be as quiet? No! Oh, where you at, Trag? I know we're supposed to be talking about Jen, but, you know, points come up, man. Points come up. You didn't say a word about that, Trag. I thought you were trying to, you know, save the children.
I'm pretty sure it was the January 29th I was supposed to be released again. I don't know. The dates, like I said, don't quote me on the dates.
I won't quote you on anything, actually,
So
because this is all lies.
cool.
This is all. I guarantee. I haven't even watched you, but I guarantee all of this is just because she can never be wrong. It's everybody else's fault. She was there 7 months, didn't lose any weight, didn't get the help she deserved. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is this anybody else's fault? The taxpayers gave up a $500,000, according to our calculations, and you've done nothing. But you've come home and been like, it's everybody else's fault.
Good. So everything was in order. Some of the stuff I needed, it came. No walker, no bed yet. Excuse me. So they had set the ambulance up. It would be there at 2 p.m. on the Friday to pick me up. And everything
No,
seemed
Jana.
hopeful. Then the next week on a Tuesday again, I hadn't heard anything about the bed. There was still no bed.
Oh,
I
okay.
already had a hospital bed at my apartment because they had said
Also, they couldn't get her a hospital bed quick enough. Oh, I'm sorry the state wasn't ready to shell out thousands of more dollars to accommodate your obvious unintentional condition.
when they thought I was going to come home from the hospital, directly from the hospital to home. So it was sitting at my home. The first time when we scheduled to have me sent home from the rehab hospital, when this whole thing started, this is kind of confusing. They said I needed to return that bed, and that they would have the company send another bed, a different.
Why aren't you talking about or planning on a plan of action here? Like, what are you going to do going forward? Have you made funeral arrangements? I mean, I'm not trying to be dark or morbid, but for fuck's sake, dude. Being this big is the equivalent of being terminally ill, is it not?
From bed. It had to be reordered or something because that was from the hospital. This is from the rehab facility. I don't know. I don't understand. But we were okay. This is what has to happen.
Can't
They
barely
came,
see
picked
your
up the
nose
bed,
ring.
took it back. So there was no bed. And on that Tuesday, I called the social worker because I was a little concerned because no bed had arrived.
Look, I'm going to tell you a story, Jen, about people who develop conditions that they can't help. Okay? cancer, lose a leg. My cousin was in a bad car wreck, fucking shattered both of his hips, double hip replacement basically, and a knee replacement. And guess what he didn't get immediately? A bed. Guess what he didn't get immediately? A wheelchair. It just shit happens, Jen. And he was on his way home from work minding his own business, okay? So.
And there was no walker. And, of course, I wouldn't need the walker right away because I'm obviously not getting out of bed at that time.
You don't say.
So I called the social worker. She said typically, the bed is delivered the day before or the day of discharge, and that not to worry, everything would be fine. I said, okay, cool.
Who's grunting in the background?
I was worrying, but I was trying to be hopeful. So
Hopeful
then
for what?
Thursday came, the day before discharge, still no bed, and so I called. Well, actually, she called me, and she asked if I had heard anything about the bed. I said no. She said maybe you should give them a company a call, and ask them about the status of the bed, and to make sure it's going to be delivered.
Yeah.
I found that kind of odd because I assumed that was her responsibility to contact the company. She's a social worker.
Oh my God, dude, she wants everybody to do everything for her. You need the bed. You need the bed. You need the bed do nobody's fault but your own. That is a necessity that you need to accommodate whatever the existence it is that you have right now, which I'm sure you're bedridden. That means you're 100% dependent on people for hygiene, to bring you food, to help you dispose of your waste.
I'm Tyrese Need. Is you serious?
Wanda Ponda 45 cheered. X100. Jen always try to make plans to change but doesn't follow through, unfortunately. I think she would benefit from intensive therapy to get down to why she stuffs her emotions with food.
Well, I agree with that. I don't know how much more intense you can get than 7 months and $500,000 of taxpayer money. I mean, it seems to me like she's been presented the opportunity to do so, and she failed miserably. So, I mean, short of a 5150, she's goner.
But
I can't
was
miss
like,
Ian.
okay,
I like
fine.
walking.
So, Gene, being the wonderful person that he is, he
Sure,
agreed
wonderful
to
person.
be my go-to person and make the call for me.
Why? You're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. You're in bed. Motherfucker, you got like a life that most people are like, oh, I can't wait to go to bed. You're in bed all the time. You can't make a phone call. Jesus.
So we contacted them. He contacted them. And
don't
they
take
informed
credit for
us
what he
that
did.
The bed, because it's a beriatric bed, it was on back order.
What is a
And they
beriatric
couldn't
bed?
tell me exactly when the bed
Is that a fancy medical term for a fat bed?
would be in. Again, I cannot tell you the disheartenment that I felt at that moment. I cried, and I felt like it was the end of the world. I was so ready to be home. I missed my cats. I missed my home. I was just...
You have cats. How irresponsible. You can't get out of bed. Why do you have animals? What if something happens to Gene? Then what? You probably lose weight, honestly, if he just left. Because, I mean, I've seen these relationships. That dude, look at Shani and Rev right now. Rev looks malnourished. But guess who isn't malnourished? Shani.
just ready for the circus act to be over and to be home. So I called the social worker back, and we obviously
Tyrese
decided...
Is you serious?
Wanda Ponda 45 cheered. X100. Gene is an alcoholic and said he had experience with morbidly obese family members. He brings her food constantly.
It's a fetish for Gene. Gene likes it. He's a feeder. Just because it was his family that he claims doesn't mean that he still didn't get off on stuffing people. So if you take a long hard look around somebody and look at the trail of destruction they leave around them, it's very indicative of a pattern of behavior.
that I can't go home because I don't have a bed. So, obviously that discharge date was canceled. And when I heard something about the bed, then we would reschedule the discharge date. So every couple of days, we were calling the company to see what the status was. And then they kept telling us that it was still on back order. I guess the social worker called once
Thank you very
to
much,
see what
Holly.
the status was. They told her
Some love for Holly and Wanda
they had put
Ponda.
a new system in place, computer system.
Gross, JoJo.
And somehow they got locked out of the computer system. This all sounds like, if I wasn't there and experiencing this, and Jean didn't experience it, and my cousin and a couple other people didn't experience this, people would be like,
Exactly,
this is an
Christina.
entire lie.
The
You're
best
making this whole
kind.
thing up, because it's just too ridiculous.
Well, you probably are making most of it up or embellishing on it. Listen, we're done with it. The pandemic, in my opinion, is over. The only place it really exists are places where people let their elected officials grasp huge amounts of power, and shame on you for doing that. Anyway, 65 viewers right now, right? What point was I making? Completely forget now.
They'll be like, this is an entire lie. You're making this whole thing up.
I think you are making it all up to deflect away from your own accountability, is what I'm saying.
Wanda Ponda 45 cheered. X100. When they broke up once she recorded him leaving the apartment they shared. She didn't want to put up with his alcoholism. Shortly thereafter he was back in the house because she couldn't take care of herself.
Well, hey, I appreciate the lore. I'm not when I give a rebuttal or when I riff off of it, I'm not ripping anybody's head off that made the comment. But it sounds like a codependent relationship. It took me a year of therapy to get, actually 2.5 years of therapy to get out of a codependent relationship. And in that 2.5 years, there was a child born. I had a complete and utter nervous breakdown. I have scars from the nervous breakdown. I developed a horrible habit of self-medication. I wouldn't call it addiction. Call it what you want. I call it self-medication. I didn't take massive amounts of drugs. I would just buy drugs like benzos or pain pills and just make them last. I just didn't want to feel the world fully. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to take the edge off the world because it sucked. So 2.5 years of therapy, I walked out one day, came home, and ended the relationship. And I shit you not, my therapist had coached me through a month of what was going to happen after I decided to make this decision. And I'll be goddamned if every bit of it didn't happen, right down to me getting custody of Lil Negs. It was awesome. And I have not been in a codependent relationship since. Luna, thank you for gifting a sub. We got the hype train going. Don't be afraid to keep it going.
Because it's just too ridiculous.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, huh? This is ironic that Yabba's reviewing this when Yabba and Sam, all they've done for the last couple weeks is blame everybody else for everything, right? So it's really weird that Yabba, what is Yabba going to say when she reviews this gin stuff? Is she just going to go, indeed, 55 times?
So they told the social worker that they were locked out of the computer system, the bed, the medical supply
yeah,
company.
Missy Ann, it's a
And
thin,
that they
it's a thin line.
Is you serious?
Is you
Lone
serious?
Warrior cheered. X100.
Level 1 hype, baby. Loving it. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Rowan.
I'm Tyrese Sneed. Is you serious?
Bethamus 137 cheered. X100.
That's why I like these conversations and watching these videos, because we can have an offshoot of different topics that are not necessarily, that they're relevant to what's on the screen, but not exactly the same. Thank you, Beth and Rowan. Thank you for the bits. Get to the chopper. Hurry, get to the chopper.
Valkyrie Queen C. Groon cheered. X200.
Thank you, Valkyrie. I appreciate you. Get some love out there for Valkyrie. My therapist did refer to me as an addict with a prescription, and I did. I as an addict with a prescription would. I rebuked
Hani
her.
Mazar cheered. X300.
Hani, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Some love for Hani in the chat. Thank you, Teepster. What's up, buddy? Jesus
Thank
Christ.
you for the bits. Get to the chopper. Hurry, get to the chopper.
Wanda Ponda, thank
45
you.
cheered. X200.
I was on, fuck, what was it? Oxycodone, 10s, 90 a month, 3 a day. Klonopin, the green ones, what are those, 10s? 5s? I don't know. Anyway, 3 of those a day for 2 years. And I never ran out, but I never missed a prescription. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never ran out before my prescription was due. So, but getting out of that, that was part of pain and anxiety management during that time. They were 10s. Oh yeah, yeah. My therapist was astonished as to how I was even able to come into therapy and talk coherently. And I was like, and that's when she told me I was an addict with a prescription.
Rowan Warrior cheered. X100.
Thank you, Rowan and Straub.
She is eating the sandwich.
He's eating the Xanax. No, you can't do that anymore, KJ. That's what caused the opioid epidemic in the country. You can't get nothing now. I had a very problematic extraction, and I was in pain and my tongue is still partially numb on that side. They don't give you nothing. I know, right, Clara? It fucked my brain up. It did, because in the midst of that, I was in a codependent relationship as well. So, getting off of them was the hardest thing. I first got off the pain pills, and then about a year later, I got off the Klonopin. I got off the Klonopin right when I started #StayNegative. I was making 4 or 5 videos a day, fueled by pure withdrawal from Klonopin. Just pure fucking withdrawal-driven mania. I mean, they were funny videos. I looked like shit. I was pale. My hair looked like shit. I was ragging on Karina Kaboom's greasy forehead.
We weren't sure when they were going
to Much love to Straubs, Rowan, Wanda, and Honey.
I found that odd.
Oh, that's bad news, Missy Ann. That's bad news.
How can a medical company that supplies medical equipment to hundreds of people in the area, probably thousands of people, just can't get into their system? They claim.
Well, you just answered your own question there. You said if hundreds, if not thousands of people. So you don't think occasionally somebody's going to slip through the cracks? You don't think that maybe there's somebody who needs hospice right now, somebody that needs to get home to die because they don't want to die in some $2,000 a day bed with strangers? You ever think that maybe they take priority over somebody who has eaten themselves into such a state that they cannot even care for themselves anymore? I mean, come on.
They told the social worker that the bed hadn't even been ordered yet, when they had told us it was bound back ordered. I don't know which one was the right story. Whatever, it just wasn't there. So we continued to wait.
Yep, they were 00.
So then finally the bed was in.
I won't let them give my boys
ready
nothing.
To be delivered.
Nothing.
That brought us up into February, the...
She's complaining because she ate herself to 600 plus pounds and the state's not catering to her every whim right when she wants them to.
Trying to think of the date in February. The 9th or the 7th, perhaps. And then...
I know, right, JoJo?
For whatever reason, it fell through.
Weird.
I was then given this story that...
51%, 43 to go, level 2.
Bed was on a truck coming from Canada. And because of the Canadian trucker situation of them protesting at the border, not letting... trucks in the United States. My bed was stuck, and it was still on the way. It just hadn't got here yet.
You realize that you need a specialty bed. You said you need a bariatric bed. Okay? These are beds that have to be custom
Get to the
made.
Chopper. Hurry, get to the chopper.
I mean, not custom made, but you know what I'm saying?
45 cheered. X200.
Thank you, Wanda. 62 on that level 2. But you understand what I'm saying, right? These are not like just common hospital beds that you could just, okay, here you go, average human. There you go, average size human being. No, you need a bariatric bed, which costs more. It's going to be harder to ship. You know, there's a lot of planning around it, I'm sure, because it's not conventional. Jesus Christ.
So there we are.
Thank you guys for the love. I appreciate you.
So finally, on the, I don't know, guys. This is like, it was 7 days before the 22nd of February.
Right,
That's
Miss
all
Ann?
I know. The bed was in. It was going to be delivered, and they brought the bed. It had to have been on the 19th, the 20th, I believe. And that day, here's another crazy story.
Oh, yeah, I'm
the
sure
day
it's a
they
story.
delivered the bed to my apartment,
Yeah.
the power was out in the building because they were doing, I don't know, some kind of repairs. They're doing a lot of repairs to my building right now.
Well, I can't imagine why.
So there was no power. There was one elevator working off of the generator, which was fine. They could get the bed in the elevator and bring it and set it up.
Yeah, buddy.
They weren't able to test it when they got it here. So Gene said, well, that he would test it when the power came back on. He would let them know if everything was all right.
Okay.
So the power came back on later in the afternoon. Gene
Alrighty.
tested it. The only thing that was not working was the head does not raise. So he called the company. They immediately sent the guy back out, like probably 15, 20 minutes after Gene called. He was back here. There was some problem with the motor, and they were going to have to replace it.
I can't imagine
He
why.
told Gene that they would overnight the motor, and he would have it, the new one in the bed before I even come home.
Okay.
Kind of nervous about that.
Okay.
Because nothing else has worked out. But at least there was a bed there. There was a place for me to put my big butt.
Well, I mean, you ate yourself to 700 pounds, and the state is giving you free shit so you can lay around and continue to do it. What do you mean nothing's going your way? It seems to me like everything in your life has gone your way. You don't have to do shit. You don't have to work. Not a productive part of society. A complete burden upon the taxpayers. And now you're complaining because we're just coming out of the tail end of a pandemic that was slaughtering people that had pre-existing conditions and the elderly, and you're complaining because Jesus Christ.
In my apartment. So the next day,
It's Missy.
Gene got up early and was waiting for the guy to come. My discharge time was 2 p.m.
Leave that to me, Teepster.
And the ambulance would be there to bring me home at that time. It got to be 11, and he'd still heard nothing from the company. He called the company, and the company said that the part had not come in, but I could go ahead and come home because they could change out the motor while I was in the bed, which was fine. I don't mind being reclined for a little while. I just wanted to come home.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Another hour passed.
They
2
can't
hours
work on the
before I
bed,
was
but you
supposed to
in
come home,
it.
the social worker walks into my room, my hospital room. She said, I have some bad news for you. She said, the bed that you received is default, and they were going to have to replace it. She said, do you want to stay?
Her voice rasped because she's half
And
dead.
I said, well, how long is this going to take? She said they couldn't tell me how long it will take. I said, nope, I'm good. I have a bed to lay on. I could put pillows under my back. I'm good. I want to go home. So I wanted the circus act to end, and I wanted to go home. So that's what we did. We just went with it. And I'm still waiting for the bed to be fixed, almost a month later. Friday, a new bed came in.
So
Problem with that is they would have to set the new bed up beside this bed, and then I would have to get out and get into the other bed, and then they'd have to take this one. There's not enough room in this room to set up two beds at the same time. So they had to return that, and they were going to wait again for the motor to be ordered, the part that was supposed to be ordered in the first place. So that is the story of the delay in release. I don't know. I basically just laid there taking up space for 2-3 months.
No, if as long as you're that big, that's all you're gonna be doing is taking up space. I mean, in a hospital, in a house, whatever.
December, January, part of February, 2.5 months. I just laid there taking up space.
Yeah, circus act.
Ridiculous. The social workers still didn't do what they were supposed to do. There was no walker ordered. The social worker informed me that she had tried every home health agency in this valley, as far away as an hour away. None of them would accept my insurance, which I found odd because I had physical therapy at home about 7, 8 years ago.
So this has been going on for a long time. When do people get cut off? Are we offering recovering addicts the same amount of support, $500,000 of support to get off drugs and get their lives together? Are we supporting young men and women coming out of prison because of drug addictions and our fucked up war on drugs? Are we giving them that financial support to get on their feet? So I don't understand. If they're not getting that, why is it okay to do this? What's the difference? What's the difference?
And there was never a problem with my insurance. But I thought, things change over the years. I guess that's just the way it is.
I honestly believe my uncle would probably be alive if there were programs in place, or maybe not. Who knows? He was pretty embedded in the hustle And that's what, live by the sword, die by the sword. But I also know a lot of other people that maybe if they had resources available, they'd be alive, but who knows? Or not in prison for the rest of their lives. I don't know.
So I was basically sent home with a bed, the medication that I had left from the hospital, which is about a week's worth of medication, and that's it. I had no walker, I had no other supplies I needed, and that was it. So luckily, I was able to call my doctor. This doctor is a new to me doctor from being in the hospital, and at first they weren't going to be able to help me because I hadn't been to see them. The doctor I have is
Right here. What the
I
fuck?
think they're an intern, and they work under a doctor, but they take turns rotating med students.
Why is
And
it drifting
this
off the
doctor hadn't been
camera?
in to
What's
see the doctor
happening
since
here?
2019,
What is this over
face to
here?
face.
Oh, that's chicken skin.
in the office. So they weren't going to be able to help me, and I explained
Yeah, I'd
the
like a free
situation where I
bed.
was bedbound. I needed help. I needed
$700
supplies,
for
I
that
needed
one. That's
medicine.
all right.
So thankfully they were able to do telehealth with me, and I was able to do like web. They sent me
I'm gonna go to the
a link for
furniture store
MRI.
today. I feel like buying a
We
piece
did
of
it that way.
furniture.
And my doctor had absolutely no problem setting me up with home health. None. They set me up with it. She set me up with the medications I needed, and the medication that I was supposed to be taking at the rehab facility that the doctor wanted me to take there. And he was an amazing doctor, very kind. He took the time. He treated you like an actual person.
Okay.
He didn't just talk down to you or.
Well, you
because
see
I
how
was
that
overweight, he
worked
didn't
out
just
for
push me
you.
through. He was very thorough, and
Right.
very helpful. He's the one
Got
that
his-
mentioned
got-
Ozempic
No,
in
see
the
what
first
he
place.
did. He got his money and kept it pushing. Is what he did.
But for whatever reason, I was denied it. My insurance wouldn't cover it while I was there. I'm not sure why. So I told my doctor when I got home about the Ozempic. She was for it. She had heard wonderful things for it. It was
I wonder how many children right now are either Riley or St. Vincent's or St. Francis in Indianapolis right now who need $500,000 to get their cancer treatments. You know what I'm saying? I wonder how many of them have been denied because they weren't 700 pounds. You know what I'm saying? I'm
was
just
just
saying.
approved by the FDA for weight loss. She said she thought I was the perfect candidate for it, and that she would. It was going to take a lot of documentation for the insurance company to approve it because it's a new drug. It's very expensive, and sometimes they don't want to give you something that's so new. But in my case,
Well, according to Jen, she's the son because the world revolves around her, right?
being that I am as overweight as I am, as well as diabetic, she thought both of those conditions together, I would have a really good chance of my insurance accepting it, and paying for it. Which thankfully, in the end, they did. And that she had no problem with either. She set me up with the rest of the medical supplies I needed, insulin, diabetic blood glucose tester. I mean, she was like on top of everything. My doctor was, and all these things that the rehab facility just dropped the ball on.
Yeah.
And we were just basically left.
Where was the financial assistance when I needed an attorney to go into court and fight for custody of my son? Where was that financial assistance at? Oh, yeah, it didn't exist. And that was due to somebody else's horrible choices, not mine. I didn't do shit. I was doing what any parent would do, get their child out of harm's way, right? Nope, $1,000 out of my pocket. Oh, sorry, not fat enough.
Do all this for ourselves, and not that it was a big deal. I have no problem doing these things for myself.
What does the lawyer have to do with it? Because to me, it seems like a lawyer to get custody of a child away from a horrible person is more pressing on society than somebody wants to eat themselves to death. I'm just saying.
Because they're things that I needed. But I was told at the rehab facility that they would take care of all that for me, and all of that would be in place when I came home. But none
You
of
know
it
what
was.
I hear, Jen?
So it was very disappointing in the
That's all
end.
I
that
hear.
I pretty much left there in the same condition I went there in. I have those.
Why is that?
Physical therapy fell through.
7
and
months.
It was just very disappointing.
$500,000.
The physical therapists weren't that great. And this wasn't just the way they treated me. This is the way they treated other patients as well. They would come into your room and they would say, "Start doing your leg exercises, and I'll be right back."
Oh, what were they supposed to say? Start doing your leg exercise. You're in rehab. It's not a resort. You were there 7 months. Yes, if you truly wanted to get help, you would have done the damn leg exercises and just sucked it up and got over it. It's not a fucking resort.
And they would wander off and they would come back and tell me to do my next exercise. And they would get on their phone and text or whatever they were doing on their phones. And it was
What'd you want them to do? Rub you down, cheer you on while you're doing it?
like there was no guidance, there was no encouragement. And it was just very disheartening.
Oh, so it's everybody else's fault that you didn't make any progress. You just admitted that they were telling you what to do. But you're admitting that you just chose not to because, they didn't pat my ass enough.
Luckily, the physical therapist I have now that's coming to my home is an amazing man. I think I did more with him in one session than I did with all those physical therapists the months that I was in the rehab hospital. When I told him I have trouble with my right side.
They're laundering money through Ukraine. Don't let it fool you. Why do you think every app you open, Ukraine? What about Ethiopia? Did you forget about that? Fucking civil war going on. 500,000 people dead. Ah, yeah, the Mino Ruskies.
That's the side that I have lymphedema on. This is swollen. My right leg is significantly bigger than my left. My arm, my face, everything. When I told him that I didn't think I was going to be able to do anything with my right leg, he said, well, I'll spot you and we'll do it. We can do it. He was very encouraging. He wanted me to try. When I said that to the physical therapist at the rehab facility, she said, that's okay. Just do your best. She wasn't interested in helping me. She wasn't interested in...
Wow, the fucking absolute nerve and audacity of this woman. The absolute fucking nerve and audacity. You've got to be kidding me.
Seeing how we could work around something that I was able to do. I hadn't set up in quite some time. He had me sit up, and luckily I was surprised that I was able to sit up by myself as well as I was for not sitting up for so long.
This should be sent to the social worker. The shit that she says after she's done should be sent to the state to show that she is nothing more than a financial liability, because she is admitting that they came in and told her what to do and she chose not to do it because they didn't pat her ass enough. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
He had me sit on the edge of the bed, and the physical therapist that I had at the rehab facility, she just kind of like, when I said I couldn't sit up, she's like, okay, go ahead, lay back down. And he was encouraging. When I did sit up, we did arm exercises while I was sitting.
The prime minister of Ethiopia. Isn't there a civil war raging there, though, with 500,000 dead? That was my point. I don't care what he did. Hey, who else won a Nobel Peace Prize? Oh, Barack Obama. That's right.
Very encouraging, and I'm so pleased with him.
Didn't he win a Nobel Peace Prize?
Well.
Yes, he did.
I guess I'll save this part for the next video because this is way long. I'll tell you more about the...
And Barack Obama dropped, what was it, 30 or 60,000 bombs in his last year as president?
What I'm receiving now, my medications, my physical therapy, my occupational therapy, all that stuff, I'll fill you in on my next video, and also tell you about the bad experience I had with an aide at the rehab facility.
Oh my God!
She was actually suspended without pay.
A brutal civil war. Yep.
So we'll get into that in the next video.
Why did he win a Nobel Peace Prize?
That's my story about how I finally was released.
That's all it is a story.
I got to come home. I guess they figured that because you're an obese person, I think that they thought that I would just slip through the cracks. I would just stay there.
Okay, he won the Peace Prize. Peace Prize. I can't get me off this planet.
Story about how I finally was released and I got to come home. I guess they figured that because you're an obese person, I think that they thought that I would just slip through the cracks. I would just stay there, and I wasn't going to get any better. I didn't want to get better. Obviously, they didn't know any better that I was determined to get better, and I still am. So the whole thing was a bad experience, and very disappointed. And then we'll wrap it up, the series of the woe is me experience from a rehab facility. And
yeah,
I'll see
more
if you
woe
have
is me.
anything to add next video, and I'll give my closing thoughts, and then we'll move on from there. I have other videos that I want to share with you guys. I don't know if part 3 will be uploaded right after
Exactly,
this. There'll be another
Bridge
video,
Troll.
and then part 3 will be in a couple of days. I'm not
Yeah.
exactly sure what order they'll go up, but you will see part 3 sooner or later, and sooner than later, actually. So I'll leave you there. I will see you guys again soon. I hope you have a good week, and be good to each other. Bye, everyone.
Oh, God. How fucking fucked. How fucked. Ugh. Alright, whatever, man. Whatever. That's fucking privilege. I just wanted to show you the privilege. That's privilege. People always tell me this myth of white privilege. I know there are many, many, many privileges that exist, and fat privilege is one. The fact that you could be 700 pounds and the taxpayers are burdened with a near $500,000 bill for you to sit in a rehab for 7 months and come out heavier or the same as you were shows that you are very privileged. I don't care about Arafat. They paraded him around like he was a martyr or some shit, and it's like, what? No. No, you got blood on your hands, bro. We can have a pissing contest all day about who did or did not kill the most civilians. The bottom line is blood is on hands. That's the bottom line. It's like, oh, Barack Obama bombed all kinds of people into oblivion, but he won the Nobel Peace Prize, right? It's like giving MFW a 48-hour sobriety coin. Doesn't make sense. It does. You know, Missy, it does make me angry. I tend to get over it quicker now because I realize that, and I'm sure you realize this too, that where we're from or whatever, we don't have these issues because we live in the real world where people go to work 9 to 5, they come home and they want a safe place to raise their kids, feed their kids. They want to take their kids to practice. They want their kids to be in extracurricular activities. They want their kids not groomed by teachers who want to focus on genitals every fucking day. We just want a normal fucking life. That's what we want. It's not determined by identity. Unfortunately, it is sometimes determined by wealth, but it is what it is. That's the system we have in the world, is the caste system. People need to be focusing on that, but they're too busy looking at each other's skin. They're too busy worried about where you put your dick, what you like, what you identify as, and what your skin looks like to see that we're all going through a struggle. Oh, he was awarded the Peace Prize without doing anything. Sounds like a big virtue signal to me. Wealth privilege. Thank you very much. Absolutely. Wealth privilege is a thing. Look. I worked really hard my entire life to just get by. And for some reason, the pandemic, maybe it was the fact that Donald Trump printed $7 trillion or some horse shit and put us in crippling debt. But I took the money and did what I could with it to ensure that money wouldn't be an issue going down the road. If I'm taking out a commission for a year, we're probably going to be in a bad place. But as it stands, you know, I've done this. I did this because I'd never wanted to move into a one-bedroom apartment ever fucking again, all right? Is I have a 6-month buffer. If I have to lay in that bed like Jen for 6 months, I have a 6-month buffer. Right, Straubs. I think I think there are two types of fatty ding dong. Or there's actually only one type of fatty ding dong. Actually, let me just say, there are people who struggle with their weight, and then there are people who are complete raging narcissists who use their weight, use that whole lifestyle as a crutch, right? There are people who struggle, and there are people who adopt it as a lifestyle and are proud of it, right? You can't tell me Jen cares. She doesn't care. She doesn't care if she can't move, and she has privilege. Chantel, she's got wealth privilege now, but but how long is she going to sustain it? Same with Nikocado Avocado. Oh, I can imagine, Straubs.
Thank you for the bits. Get to the chopper. Hurry, get to the chopper.
Ms. Mystery 1 cheered. X200. Back to work I go. Have a good day, fatty ding dongs. Smiley face. Smiley face. Much love.
Scotty! Thank you, Miss Mystery. I appreciate you. So, is tonight that ridiculous panel with Irie, Alex, and Miss Hussey? I love it that Alex is just following the crowd. It's going to make what happens later so much glorious. So much more glorious. Ugh. Good for you, Straubs. Exactly, Troll. Exactly. Oh, I can't wait to see it. We'll probably be watching it in the Discord. I'm not going to snipe it. I don't need to snipe it. They're going to talk about us anyway. So, there's that. I will live tweet about it, though, because that usually hijacks a panel pretty quick. And sitting here saying this won't prevent it either. That's the funniest fucking part about the whole thing. He's not a guru. He's a guru of being a fucking SJW. He can sit there and tout all of his fake right-wing beliefs all he wants. He said he and I would agree on politics. Wrong. Wrong, Alex. Wrong. Wrong. So wrong. Oh, I don't think Clara's sniping. I think she's. It's Alex's tape today, so I think Alex gets a double dose because he was on Twitter, just crying about it. Everybody else is bothered but me. Exactly, 00. I'm gonna get a good laugh out of it. I'm gonna smoke a fatty and just watch it. I agree, Kimber. Yes. I gotta find a tattoo artist, do laundry.
I'm Tyrese Sneed.
I don't know what else I gotta do today.
Serious?
God damn, that music got.
Honda 45 cheered. X100.
Music got.
Alex has a disgusting ASMR channel where he verbally assaults us with his nastiness.
Yeah, I feel sexually harassed by Alex's ASMR. It is cringy, especially when you find out who the dude is. That would be like Bucky McSoyclaw doing ASMR, right? About lasagna, you know? And then you find out who it is, and you're like, oh, God. Alex fancies himself as an intellect, but he can never go toe-to-toe with me. We could talk about, I don't know, anything. Pick a subject. Don't have to be politics. I'd dunk on him regardless. It could be about the origins of Plato. That he wouldn't be able to hold his composure. He'd be like, oh, my oppression points. My illness and my identity. I've never seen someone signal to both sides of the aisle so hard in my life. Like how Tragic tries so hard to have a dunk on people when the shit he releases doesn't even make sense. It's the same thing Alex does. He it doesn't make any sense. He just signals to both sides of the aisle, right? Doesn't make any sense. He's like, but, January 6th, but bisexual, but. Trump 2024, but. For $6,000, yeah. Yeah, man, it's like nearly $900 a day. That's easy money. I just live stream and make more money too. That's a win-win for me. You would be okay until you had one of your moments and your boomerang doesn't come back. My boomerang rarely comes back. I'm just saying, I've accepted that. Yeah, having all those identities, you know. I can't imagine identifying with my mental illness, being a Caucasian, being a straight male. It doesn't matter. It's just, I don't have to identify with it because that's who I am. I'm not struggling with it, so I don't have to constantly be like, we know, straight white male, we get it. We can see you. Fuck, we get it, all right? Fuck. JoJo, fucking shit, man. I don't know. Probably eat that feta cheese right up. Get some toast. My bisexuality. January 6th. I take exception to men who try to come at me sideways when they haven't even they haven't even, one, they haven't had a child, and two, they've never raised a child. I am more qualified to lecture individuals such as Alex and Tragic, both, because, well, Tragic's not really a father, he's more of a friend, because I've been in the trenches, all right? I've weathered all of it, first and foremost, and I'm much more wiser than you are, okay? Much more wiser. My native accent. Shut up, Kanish, you stupid asshole. Am I excited about Pete's transitioning into what, a Pokemon? Is he going to transition into Depakote and get his fucking mental illness under control? When are we going to start treating... Dude, it's such a bad trend. Transgenders, it's so bad. Because you could do serious damage. Jesus Christ. I'm 44, man. I'm going to be a man the rest of my life. And I'm not going to identify with shit. All right? I'm going to like women until the day I die. I'm going to dress like this till the day I die. I couldn't imagine getting up in the morning, throwing a wig on, throwing some makeup on, because I want to be Paulina. I like being a man because I'm very low maintenance. No makeup. I took a shower this morning, and I didn't even comb my hair. I just went and just tossed it behind my ear, right? Adidas, crippling depression shirt. I'm good. I'm good to go. You're going to transition into a deaf. I identify as deaf. So you're going to have to learn sign language to talk to me. Don't talk to me. I can't hear you. Allegedly. Yes, that's right. This is actually like a 35-year-old Tupperware cup. It's been around the family for years. It's even got like a little, somebody hit it with something hot or something. Yeah. A lot of Tupperware like that. Somebody left it on the burner or something. That's Canada's problem. Trudeau wants to tout that mentally ill ideology. He can. I will never subscribe to that. People don't care about stats anymore. They care about what looks good, and it's stupid. They have stats for a reason. Because it's how we track trends and decisions that people make. Like the stats that Pfizer is releasing. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Trudeau's a dictator. Let's just call a spade a spade. Canada is, well, the Trudeau is left. I don't know about the rest of the government in Canada, though. You think he's a bad troll? I just think he's a little gone full spectrum, to be honest with you. Yeah. I don't care what looks good. I'm about what's right, man. I stand for something. These people don't stand for nothing. They buried their whole paper when they go off their handle. He should have kept Death around to speak for him. She's a fucking liar, but at least she could talk coherently. Every time he goes live, that's what I meant by that video I played with no contact at the beginning of the stream. I want to see Irie, Alex, and Tragic on panel. That's what I want to see. I do. I want to see them. I want to see those two galaxy brains on panel together. Tragic whipping out, my dead brother, my bisexuality, January 6th. God. Cope harder. Cope harder. Dude, I have raised 4 children. I have watched young men cope in various ways over the last 20 years, okay? 22 years. I've been raising children for 22 years. I've seen coping in all kinds of ways, all right? And you know, my children, like, gave it up once they started recognizing social cues and different types of things because they knew that I wasn't going to play that game with them, right? What'd I say? Yeah? I know Alex tried to say that I reference race all the time. My own. When people are shitting all over it. Yeah, Alex, you just kick the door open and go, biracial and sexual. Yes, did I mention I have MS as well? I have the trifecta. Nobody can hate on me. Get out of here, dude. Oh, of course it's going to be sexual because Alex is bisexual. January 6th. And Hussy can't not have an erection for longer than 4 seconds when there's a man around, so. Yeah, yeah. Dude, DC, I was reading the comments on your most recent stream, and god damn, what's wrong with people? They're like, you've lost your mind. I'm like, you're fucking from the YouTube underground. You're from the support group, aren't you? No, I can tell. I can tell. I used to like you. How will I go on? Sue me, Kanishk. Sue me for all money I don't have. It's not worth anything anyway. Every dollar I have is worth like 10 cents. No, Claire, I'm going to make that the key point of every live stream going forward now. No, I'm kidding. It probably looks like a dog dick. You know when dogs walk around? Red rocket, Sparky, red rocket. It's like, ew, looks like lipstick. It's like that Tim and Eric movie last night. Everything has a moist sound to it. Gets a direction. It's like, or. I don't know, I'm just saying. The triggering. My opinion matters. Not really. Sorry.
I'm Tyrese Sneed. Is you serious?
Wanda Ponda 45 cheered. X100. I think Hussey has a cocktail weenie.
Oh God. Wanda, let's get some love for Wanda in the chat. I can't help but to think of that martini he had with 8 pounds of olives in it in a mason jar. I just want to see him drink one with it. It makes me want to upchuck with cocktail weenies in the bottom. Oh God, Vienna sausages is so gross, dude. Like, dude, if I see you rocking a can of sardines or Vienna sausages, we can't hang out till you wash your hands and brush your teeth. I'm sorry. Get a Tic Tac or something. Not tragic. I'm sorry. Let me get a breath mint. Is that better? I don't want you to get too confused because, you know. It's like a kickstand for the fupa, JB. That's what it is.
I'm Tyrese Sneed. Is you serious?
Aluvar Juna cheered. X100. How do you feel about canned cod liver?
I've never heard of canned cod liver until now, and I don't feel real good about it. So thank you. Thank you, Juna. Thank you very much. Can we not talk about his junk? Well, I mean, he talks about mine all the time. He's like, I know it, Hussey. He's trying to get tragic up here and get his pants. I know. That's all he talks about. I'll go on the record. I think he wants to. I think he and Tragic really want to roll around in a big old waiting pool of baby oil. I do. I still think it's very bizarre that Tragic is within this last 8 weeks has changed his story 5 or 6 different times. Has and dude, this guy was like a brother to me. Can you imagine somebody that you looked at as a brother then making sexual comments to you? See, this is what it did to me. It peeled back the veil that he felt that way the entire time.
Is you serious?
Wanda Ponda 45 cheered. X100. Can we see the bump and grind, tooth and grill combo video?
I would, but I've been getting nipped for the R. Kelly track. Let me see if I got the tooth video. I think I have a better copy of the tooth video, though. Give me just a second here. I gotta go into my studio because I privated all my videos because I'm not allowed to upload. Only Tragic is. Only Feudy Beauty is. Only MFW. Only Shani for Christ. Nobody else. Nobody else. Definitely not Nags.
Guys, you are not going to believe what just happened to me. Hold it. So I went and I got snacks, right? And I bought some Twizzlers. Now, you know Twizzlers is mush, right?
They smush. They is mush.
Soft. You know what a fucking...
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Crooked Halo. Thank you, boo. You guys, are you ready? Look what the Twizzler did. It broke my veneer. Look.
What? Is that the feminist hat?
Can you believe that? A Twizzler.
Twizzler.
I felt like a stone
in there.
And I went and I spit it out, and it was my tooth.
My tooth. Anyway, You will get nipped for that clip too, by the way, if you're on YouTube. If you let it play all the way through. Just letting you know. You remember how insane Discord was that day? It did blow up. Is he still gluing it on with Gorilla Glue, I wonder? I wonder if Traj gave him some tips from bedazzling his granny's dentures. Can't find a Twizzlers pic. Oh, you talk about in the emotes? I've switched them up. Exactly, Christina. That's another discussion. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. I'm going to try to be a productive part of my household. I don't know what the temperature's going to be today. I'll probably end up just sitting right here and doing nothing. So let's catch up later. Mondays, there's nothing scheduled, but you know how it goes. You know how it goes. Living in my mom's attic. I got all this free time on my hands while I'm doing nothing. So much love, guys. I'll see you later.